Once upon a time, in a lush green world filled with towering ferns and sparkling rivers, lived a little dinosaur named Dino. Now, Dino wasn't a big, fearsome Tyrannosaurus Rex or a giant, long-necked Brachiosaurus. He was a tiny Compsognathus, no bigger than a chicken, with bright, curious eyes and a tail that was almost always wagging with excitement. Dino loved his life in the prehistoric jungle. Every morning, he'd wake up as the first rays of sunlight filtered through the giant leaves, chirping a happy good morning to the pterodactyls soaring high above. His days were filled with adventures. He'd chase iridescent dragonflies, play hide-and-seek with his friends among the giant cycad plants, and listen to the wise old triceratops tell stories of the world before their time. One of his favorite things to do was collect colorful, smooth stones from the riverbed. He had a special little nook in the roots of an ancient tree where he kept his collection. There were red stones that looked like tiny sunsets, blue ones that shimmered like the deepest parts of the river, and green ones that reminded him of the freshest new leaves in spring. Each stone held a memory of a happy day. But one afternoon, as Dino was carefully arranging his newest Finderstone with sparkly flecks that looked like a tiny galaxy, he heard a sound he'd never heard before. It was a soft, whimpering sound coming from a thicket of giant ferns nearby. Dino's curiosity got the better of him. Tiptoeing cautiously, he peeked through the leaves. There, huddled and alone, was a tiny creature he had never seen before. It looked a bit like a baby stegosaurus, but its plates were soft and small, and it had big, teary eyes. It was lost and scared. Dino's heart went out to the little stranger. He forgot all about being cautious and stepped out from behind the ferns. "Hello," Dino chirped softly, trying not to startle the little creature. "Are you okay?" The little dinosaur looked up, surprised. I can't find my mummy," it sniffled. "We were looking for sweet berries, and I wandered off." "My name is Spike." Dino's tail gave a comforting little swish. "Don't worry, Spike," he said kindly. "I'm Dino. I know this whole jungle. We'll find your mum together." And so their grand adventure began. Dino, using his knowledge of every twist and turn of the jungle paths, led the way. Spike, feeling braver with a new friend by his side, followed closely. They asked everyone they met. They asked the long-necked Diplodocus, who was munching on the tallest trees. "Have you seen a mama stegosaurus?" Dino called up. The giant dinosaur shook its head slowly, its voice rumbling like distant thunder. "Not up here, little ones." They asked a family of parasol loafers who were making beautiful music with the crests on their heads. They tootled a sad tune to show they hadn't seen her either. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, painting the clouds in shades of orange and purple, Spike started to worry again. "Maybe we'll never find her," he whispered, his little voice trembling. Dino stopped and looked at his new friend. He remembered his collection of stones and how each one was a happy memory. He wanted this day to be a happy memory for Spike too. "We won't give up," Dino said with a determination that was much bigger than his size. "I have an idea." He remembered a high ridge that overlooked a large valley filled with red-berried bushes, the favorite snack of stegosauruses. It was a bit of a climb, but Dino knew it was their best chance. He encouraged Spike, helping him over tricky roots and under low-hanging vines. They scrambled up the rocky path together, their little legs working hard. Finally, they reached the top. The view was breathtaking. The whole valley spread out below them, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. And there, near a large patch of red-berried bushes, was a large stegosaurus, pacing back and forth, calling out anxiously. "Mummy!" Spike cried out with joy, his voice echoing across the valley. The mama stegosaurus turned, her eyes widening. She saw Spike and let out a joyful roar. She hurried towards the ridge as fast as she could. Spike tumbled down the last part of the hill and right into his mother's loving embrace. Dino watched from the top of the ridge, his heart full. Spike's mum looked up at him, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, little one," she rumbled softly. "You brought my baby back to me. You are a true friend." As Dino made his way back home through the twilight, he felt a wonderful warmth inside him. It was a feeling even better than finding the most perfect, sparkly stone for his collection. He realized that the best treasures in life weren't things you could hold in your claws. The best treasures were the friends you made and the kindness you shared. From that day on, Dino and Spike were the best of friends. Spike would often visit Dino's nook, not just to admire the colorful stones, but to share stories and plan new adventures. And Dino learned that even though he was a very small dinosaur in a very big world, a kind heart and a brave spirit could make the biggest difference of all. And so the little dinosaur continued his happy life, his tail always wagging, his heart always open, and his collection of treasures growing, not just with stones, but with precious memories of friendship. Thanks for journeying with us into Dino's world. If you loved this story, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We can't wait to see you again soon. Bye for now.